we're celebrating my 14-year anniversary Alive Day. It's very special, you know, in celebration of 14 years of survival. And it's pretty significant. Stoked about it.
I'll just touch your dog.
In about a week, it will be his Alive Day, and that's what he's chosen to call the anniversary of his accident. It's his Alive Day because he got to be alive instead of dead, which could have gone either way. And I think it's kind of his Alive Day because it's his rebirth. Part of Cameron's thing is that he was really reborn on that day. Like, you know, his body changed, his attitude, his outlook on life changed, physically and mentally.
I have all the necessities, all the tools that I use every day. My X3 knees, my sockets, fit around the limb in my arm, my conventional everyday prosthetic arm. And these are my everyday walking legs, called the X3. There's like a 6-7 day battery life. I drive my car with these. No hand controls, just regular vehicle. Silicone liner. The liner will go over my arm like that. And so this is a type of suspension. It's how it's suspended from the body. So you just, this little sock goes over to keep from sticking. So this pin on the end of the liner is just gonna lock down inside of this arm right here. So and this is the harness with the cable. So that's how I move my elbow. Or if I have it locked, that's how I open the hook, okay? When I shrug my shoulder, it unlocks it or locks it in place. And so when it's locked, then I have the control of the hook. I'll pull the legs on and the legs will be held on by suction. I need to get my weight up and over on the knees. If I had one leg, I would just stand up and put my weight into the leg and pull it on, but because I'm missing both my legs, I need to get onto my knees. So I'll just cross my legs like this, make sure that I have my valves, and I'm gonna kick over. I'm gonna get onto my knees like this. So now I'm on my knees. You can see my skin right here. So put the valve in there. Now I can get myself up and I'm good to go. I remember the first time I put on my legs totally on my own. I had to figure it out by myself. I just had to process a trial and error and figure out how it worked, and it took over 30 minutes just to get on one socket. It's been 14 years, and I'm doing more than I possibly could have ever imagined, even before when I had all my legs and arms.
Well, the police came to our door in the middle of the night, so it was pretty horrific. And it's really hard for me to think about that scene. And then going to the hospital, and I think that, well, Bill says, so it must have happened, that the chaplain came and to comfort us because we were gonna lose our son.
You know, getting hit by a train, drunk, 15 years old, that was instantly the biggest challenge of my life. Every day, you know, having to live as a triple amputee, yeah, it's a challenge. Are they still challenges? I don't know. I mean, I just like to think that it's part of my story, and we all have our own story.
The prosthetist, who they're the ones that make the prosthesis, instead of having any kind of hope for Cameron, he just told us, well, Cameron is just not gonna walk. So we're in the doctor's office looking at the magazines, and there's an article about a boy. He has both his arms, but he's missing both his legs above the knee. And he's swimming and he's rock climbing. He's just doing stuff. And we said to this guy, we're like, well, what about this kid who happens, his name is Rudy? We're like, what about this kid? And the guy says to us, oh, Rudy, he's 1 in a million. We're like, really? Bye-bye. And we left, and we never went back to him. And then we just started doing tons of research to find out who would see Cameron as, you know, as potential and not as like, you know, you're not gonna walk, so don't even try.
When I first saw Cameron, you know, I evaluated him and said to myself, you know, here's a kid with guts, energy, drive. I said, you know, how did we make out this kid is not going to walk again? In fact, we said, Cameron, you know, literally within hours, we can have you up and going. So we got working with him. That evening, he walked out of our office and has never been in a wheelchair since. I was like amazed with him. Again, gutsy young kid, did absolutely awesome.
First, it was really hard, and there was a lot of frustration and struggle. I melted down, I was overwhelmed, I would cry, I would wipe the tears from my face, and I would never stay in a deep, dark depression. I would always pick myself back up with positive energy. What am I gonna do? Focus on my goal, and eventually I'd get there. I was able to transform from a train wreck into an athlete of multiple sports.
Cameron pushing boundaries, that's like his whole life. But yeah, this was a whole new world. World of amputees and prosthetics. And then once he learned how to walk, they said, well, like, what else do you want to do? You want to run? Okay, let's get you running. What else do you want to do? Walk up and down the stairs? Okay, let's do that.
I was raising the bar. I was pushing the edge of the envelope of what a bilateral above the knee amputee had ever done. Like walking downstairs without holding onto a hand railing, just step over step. We're going down
Cameron works hard at doing what he does, but he pushes us even harder. His expectations is very, very high. So he has helped us pioneer new concepts. There's stuff like sockets, how the prosthetic device interfaces with his body. He comes up with ideas on how to make it more flexible, more dynamic. You know, areas inside in the socket that as he's walking, as he's running, that his muscles can fire into the various compartments, that he can be very, very active with the prosthetic device. So he pushes us, and as a result, he has helped, I would say, literally thousands of other prosthetic users, both in the United States and around the world, to be very successful with their prosthetics.
The hills kind of starts over there. We don't have to drive. We can just walk up there and run up, do a couple sprints up and run down, sprint up.
I have an immense amount of gratitude for my family because all that we've been through, and so my return is to participate in the half marathon and to show that, you know, hey, I've been able to make it. You know, this is who I am today, and I couldn't have done it without your help. And to run side by side with my sister is going to be pretty amazing experience. Okay, so I'm gonna switch out to my running legs here. This is a carbon fiber running foot with a 3S80 running knee. It's specifically designed for running. So I'll just pop it on. I'm just gonna tighten these set screws and get them nice and tight. Push on it. There you go. Yeah. That little part, you just flip it up and now it's locked.
Does this part rotate inside here?
No.
Your regular legs have a computer chip for a knee,
Exactly.
right?
Yeah.
These ones are just
These
hydraulics
are,
and
hydraulics. As soon as that knee flexes, it's gonna swing forward instantly. And so it's going to be there for you. The only time I ever fall is when I get lazy and I catch my toe and I just trip. And then my foot will not come forward because I catch my toe on something. And then boom, I'm down.
runners will tell you, like, when you have your runner's high or whatever, you get into like a rhythm, and definitely after a few miles, you kind of lose yourself. And where Cameron, like, his mind has to be thinking about every step for hours, which is gotta be hard. I mean, I kind of run to get away, to not think, and Cameron, I think it takes a lot of thinking.
I do enjoy the running. However, I'm thinking about, the technical part of it, the techniques, what's going on underneath me, if I'm doing all of the preparations so that I'm not chafing my skin and getting breakdown. So there's a lot to think about, but ultimately, I get to a place where I am just running and I have that rhythm and I'm in the zone, I'm in my element, and I'm thinking really positive thoughts. I gotta take care of something.
You gotta take care of some business?
Yeah.
Should I turn around?
No, I just gotta drain some fluid.
Oh!
Oh. Oh yeah, that felt amazing. That felt pretty good. Game on. Oh, the weather's starting to cool down a little bit. Feels good. On the way to see the family at my mother and father's for brunch, and I'm super stoked. Everyone's getting together, reuniting. My mom is such a tough lady, and she has got so much love for all of us kids, all of her children. And she just exudes love for us. And my mom has been very tolerating of all of my bullcrap and all of my shenanigans and my being a hooligan growing up. And she is damn resilient. Woo! Here we are, home sweet home. Woo!
I never saw any point in eating like 3 bowls of spaghetti, but
There you go.
I just think, get some carbs and just drink a lot of water
Hydration.
and eat your veggies. That's about it.
I'm on the egg department here. Excellent.
He doesn't have that overachiever personality where he's got to be better than everybody else in everything he does, but he just has a drive to to do the things he likes to do.
It's hard for me to comprehend that he can actually run 13.1 miles. Yeah, I mean, a mile is like insane. Like, really? You can do that now? We're all like trying really hard not to.
I love you.
He doesn't have anything to prove to anybody. He doesn't have anything to prove to his family. We all love him, and he's more than proven himself to us, you know, a million times over. Not that he ever had to, but he has. He wants people to perceive him as capable, but that's always been his goal since his accident, that he is capable in the world. At the beginning of his recovery, when he was younger, so much of the purpose was was physical. Now he's building up his insides because that allows him to give to other people. And that's what he's all about, is being able to give to other people. And now he has also extra purpose in his life. Not only is he living his life, he is living his life in honor of his brother Jesse.
To our family, to life, and to the marathon tomorrow. May it be a good half marathon, Camille. My brother is with me in every fiber of my makeup, no matter where I go or what I do. Because not only am I like an exact duplicate, like, you know, model and creation of my brother, being identical twins. So we're one and the same. We shared a womb together. We were born, and, you know, we were brought up. But also in that spiritual sense, you know, and in my heart and in my soul, he's always there with me. And that gives me some comfort and really gives me a peace of mind.
Cameron and Jesse were very fun, active, popular hooligans. Very sweet and generous boys, both of them. But they did like to live life on the edge, those two. You know, that both of the boys struggled with their substance abuse, and you know, that's what caused Cameron's accident, or led up to Cameron's accident. And so Jesse definitely struggled with that, and it was hard for him, you know. And unfortunately, that's the way things turned out for Jesse.
I know deep down inside, in my heart, in my soul, that my brother Jesse, my twin brother, did exactly his part in my life story. And I am forever gravely indebted to his service to me, because I wouldn't know that true brotherhood and love that two twins and twin brothers have without that experience. Now, I could have been a lot better of an example in other respects in regards to my own decisions. Of course, you know, did I portray a good example in my rehabilitation as a multiple amputee and learning how to walk and become independent? Yes, I was great at that. But it didn't mean that I made other good choices. I made a lot of mistakes. I'm not perfect, nobody is. But I've learned a lot, and I absolutely have changed a lot since my brother passed away. And that's another part of why I'm grateful for where I'm at now, and because I've learned so much from him. I've learned that if I live that lifestyle, I'm no better than dead. You know, I almost died, and I'm lucky because I have a second chance. Yeah, I've lost 3 limbs, but it's an opportunity. Now I can learn from my mistakes. I don't have to repeat that cycle of destructive behavior that's going to eventually kill me like it did my brother. And so he, in turn, saved my life. I wasn't able to do that for him. All that I've been through, I couldn't do that for him. But God damn it, he can do it for me. Okay? That is why my brother is so important to my life story. There's nothing more than I can do but live a life absolutely to its fullest and to make good decisions and not waste my life.
How are you feeling about tomorrow?
I'm a little bit nervous, but I'm really excited.
Are you mentally there? Are you physically there?
I'm mentally there, physically, I'm prepared.
Yeah.
Yeah, a good way to celebrate my ampuversary.
Yeah.
In the amputee world, we call it ampuversary.
The ampuversary.
So, but that's my alive day, you know, and
Yeah.
it's absolutely, you know, something to celebrate, life.
Yeah.
You know, personally for me, it's been a process, and after my accident, I had a lot of guilt and shame for myself because, you know, I had caused such turmoil in our family, and, you know, having the family witness what I went through, and to have such an emotional trauma for everybody, you know, I know that was painful. And so for me to have this opportunity now, to have really come so far from that point in time, you know, this is kind of a healing process for me. And
Everybody feels guilt. You can't live your life thinking about the what ifs. Everybody, you, me, mom, I mean, everybody has to stop thinking about the what ifs and just live your life, because
you kind of let go. I mean, it's in the past. You know, you can't change what happened, but you can change who you are now and just move forward and go continue on.
Yeah, every day is a new day.
And absolutely, and that's what Jesse always told me. He said, you know what, no matter what, tomorrow the sun will rise again, and guaranteed it's a new day.
Yep.
So I always remember that.
Today we have 1,652 participants, and we have 17 different countries. And give a big round of applause for the crazy people running the full marathon. 314 of them will be here.
In the beginning, I was nervous. I haven't ran that much distance races with Cameron. There's so much stuff going on. We didn't even get over to the crowd till 5:59. So when the gun went off at 6, we were just barely ready to go.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good luck, everybody.
Everything went smooth. Everybody loved seeing him. He got a lot of props from runners and from spectators. He's really slow uphill, but then when he hits a downhill, I can barely keep up with him. Like, he's really fast. running next to him for 2 hours and 45 minutes, I think you get a really good grasp of like, wow, this is his life, like every second of every day. You know what I mean? Just being side by side, listening to him and just like feeling his vibes. Everything that he's having to do to run that we take for granted, I think just really reminded me like, wow, this is his life. It's pretty difficult. And being right next to him, doing that whole thing, just reminded me of that.
2 hours, about maybe? 2 hours right now.
Yeah.
Wow. We have about 3 miles to go, a little bit more than that. I'm covered in sweat. There's people in the community spraying with hoses, cooling us down, passing out apple bananas and water and really.
Oh, shit. It's really hard for him to walk. He's got to run. Here, let's go. Let's go.
Hold on.
You make it out.
All right.
Wanna lean on me?
Hold on, yeah. All right, we gotta run. Stop for standing or walking.
Cameron thanks every single person that hands him water. He thanks every single person. He waves and acknowledges everybody on the side of the road that's cheering for us. He acknowledges every person. He's like his own personal messiah. Like he just says blessings, blessings to everybody.
Yeah! Thank you for your support.
He's just really thankful and really aware of everybody that's encouraging him. Yeah. His whole life is full of hard work and dedication, you know. He goes around the world and mentors kids, mentors adults.
Getting a little hard right now.
His whole life is a challenge. Like, he doesn't have to do this kinds of challenge, but he takes it on himself.
My muscles are about fatiguing right now. Gotta push through.
I for sure learned to don't sweat the small stuff because there's definitely harder challenges to deal with.
Thank you. Good job, man. It definitely makes you feel like you have somewhat of a purpose to brighten people's, day or give them, a good attitude, right? I am so happy it's done! Woohoo! Yeah. Maybe they're kind of hung up on heady little things that really, in the big picture, is not a big deal. And they see me and it just changes their whole attitude, of really what the perspective is in life, you live life to the fullest. I come out here, everybody is pushing themselves to the limits, and that's what I love about it.
EduTube was made with funding from New Zealand On Air.